Welcome back to the channel. Mark your calendars, folks. May 7th, 2025 is a date you don't want to forget. That's because after this date, you'll need a real ID-compliant driver's license or identification card to board domestic flights within the United States. That's right, your ability to hop on a plane to visit grandma or close that business deal will depend on this small but mighty card. It might seem like a long way off, but trust me, time flies faster than a budget airline on a tight schedule. Don't get caught with your pants down, figuratively speaking, of course. We're talking about the very real possibility of being stranded at the airport, watching your flight take off without you. Imagine the disappointment, the frustration, the sheer panic of missing that important trip because you didn't have the right ID. Now imagine explaining that to your boss, your family, or worse, your dog, who was counting on you for those belly rubs at grandma's house. So, do yourself a favor and keep reading. This information might just save you a whole lot of trouble down the line. Okay, so what exactly is REALID, you ask? In a nutshell, it's a set of minimum security standards for state-issued driver's licenses and identification cards. Think of it as an upgrade for your ID, making it more secure and harder to counterfeit. Why the need for such stringent measures, you might wonder? Well, in the wake of the September 11th attacks, the 9/11 Commission recommended stricter security standards for identification documents. The REALID Act, passed by Congress in 2005, was a direct response to those recommendations. So, it's not some arbitrary rule dreamt up by bureaucrats who have nothing better to do. It's about keeping our skies safe and preventing those who wish to do us harm from boarding airplanes with fake IDs. Remember folks, national security is no joke, and a real ID is one small step towards ensuring that we all travel safely and securely. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't fly that often. I'm more of a road trip kind of person. Fair enough. But here's the catch. A real ID isn't just for air travel. It's also required to access certain federal facilities, like military bases and nuclear power plants. That's right. Even if you'd rather drive cross-country than set foot on an airplane, you still need a real ID to visit Uncle Sam at some of his more, shall we say, secure residences. Imagine pulling up to the gate of a military base to visit your soldier friend, only to be turned away because your ID isn't real ID compliant. Talk about awkward. And don't even get me started on the potential national security implications of someone waltzing into a nuclear power plant with a fake ID. So, whether you're a frequent flyer or just an occasional visitor to federal buildings, having a real ID is crucial. Alright, so you understand the importance of a real ID, but how can you tell if your current driver's license or ID card is compliant? Well, it's actually quite simple. Look for a star in the upper right corner. See that little star? That's your golden ticket to hassle-free travel and access to federal facilities. Some states might also have a flag or the words "Enhanced" printed on their real ID compliant cards. If your ID doesn't have any of these markings, then it's time for an upgrade, my friend. Don't worry, getting a real ID is easier than you might think. Just head over to your local DMV and they'll guide you through the process. More on that later. Section 5. Passports, military IDs, and other acceptable alternatives. Hold on a minute, you might be saying. I don't have a star on my driver's license, but I do have a passport. Well, in that case, you're in luck. A valid US passport is an acceptable alternative to a real ID. And it's not just passports. There are other forms of identification that will also get you through airport security and past those federal facility guards. These include military IDs, permanent resident cards, and trusted traveler cards like Global Entry and Nexus. So if you're one of the lucky few who already possess one of these documents, then you're one step ahead of the game. But for the rest of us mere mortals, getting a real ID is the way to go. Section 6. Is your real ID ready? Check online now. Still not sure if you need a real ID? Don't worry, the Department of Homeland Security has got you covered. They have a handy-dandy interactive tool on their website that can tell you in an instant if your ID is real ID compliant. Just head over to dhs.gov/real-ID and click on the Real ID Check tool. It's quick, it's easy, and it could save you a whole lot of trouble down the line. Seriously folks, it's like a magic 8-ball for your ID. Ask it a question, shake it up, and bam! You'll have your answer in no time. Section 7, State-Specific Information, navigate your way to a real ID. Now I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, but I bet the process for getting a real ID is different in every state, isn't it? And you'd be absolutely right. Each state has its own set of requirements and procedures for issuing real ID-compliant licenses and ID cards, but don't despair. The DHS website has a nifty little map that provides state-specific information on how to obtain a real ID. Just click on your state and you'll be directed to your state's DMV website where you can find all the information you need. It's like having a personal tour guide for navigating the sometimes confusing world of government websites. Section 8, Mobile Driver's Licenses, a temporary pass. Now let's talk about those fancy mobile driver's licenses that some of you tech-savvy folks might have. You know, the ones that live on your phone? Well, here's the deal. If your MDL isn't Real ID compliant, you're in luck. For now. The Transportation Security Administration will continue to accept non-compliant MDLs at airport security checkpoints until May 6, 2025. That's right, you have a 1-year grace period to get your digital act together, but after that, it's Real ID or bust, even for you mobile mavens. So don't delay, upgrade your MDL today. Section 9, don't wait, get Real ID ready today. So, there you have it folks, the lowdown on Real ID. Remember, the deadline for Real ID enforcement is May 7th, 2025. That's less than a year away. Don't wait until the last minute. Check your driver's license or ID card today. If it's not Real ID compliant, head over to your local DMV and get that star on your card. And if you're still rocking a non-compliant MDL, now is the time to upgrade. Don't be that person who gets turned away at the airport or denied entry to a federal facility. Get Real ID ready today. Thank you for watching our video to the end. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel to receive more travel tips, tricks and information.